Okay, this is a love message, and I'm only smiling and feeling this like really ecstatic, happy, high emotion is because you passed the test. Oh my god, you've mastered. And I don't like using that word because I get that we're always learning, but you've mastered an old version of yourself. Like, this feels really good. It feels like graduation. It feels like celebration. It feels like you've completed a cycle in your life. And I don't know, I just the energy is just like radiating through my body of like how good this feels. So I'm going to back it up a little bit because it does feel like you've been on a journey. Whether you're fully aware of it or not, like, I want to make you aware that you've been on a journey of a lot of things. Like, I know like the people that I bring in just because it's representative of my energy. I've labeled you guys as spiritual warriors because that is what it is. That is what it is. Like, you have gone to the depths of yourself and you've fought through every shadow, every demon. You've all come, like, my god, do you guys know, like, first of all, how strong you are for doing that? Not everybody has that kind of resilience and strength and bravery to do that. Like, mm, yeah, that message that I made, the last one about like, you're a rare force of nature because people can actually, it's funny, they don't actually need to know what you've been through. They can freaking feel it because you embody it. You embody that phoenix where people are like kind of disarmed, like like some are just not really sure how to approach you because you sense it. You sense the disembodiment in people because you're so embodied, and they sense your embodiment, and so they become like they're unsure of how to approach you, right? Because of that. It's a very discerning energy. It's a very like come in clean, and that like you it's like, yeah, it's there's an energy thing about forcing people to come in clean, and if they can't, they get removed. If you resonate with that, then you'll resonate with the message that I made before this video, and it was called like you're a rare force of nature. It's literally talking about that. But anyway, back to your love life. um yeah, it feels like the last, I wanted to say year or two, but really you've probably been on a much longer journey, to tell you the truth. It's been a very long journey, but I think like the last year or two, you've just become more aware of it, right? So maybe prior to that, like, you just weren't aware of it. And it's like your soul was guiding you through all these different chaotic experiences, especially in your love life, to, you know, learn things, right? And you just probably weren't that much aware of it. Like I said, you've really gotten to be aware of it the last 2 years because you've been under, um, like, your soul the last 2 years, 2 to 3 years, has been accelerating you through a lot of lessons, not just in love, but, you know, many, 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 many things. A lot of like self worth, embodiment, you know, coming back into your heart, reclaiming your light, your gifts, like all of that, right? And also including love, right? Um, and I feel like, so obviously, if this is for you, like you've dissolved a relationship, a long term relationship, whether that was a marriage or something very much like it, right? Just because it was long term. Um, Again, the last 2 to 3 years, it dissolved, right? Um, and then you went on a journey, inwards, healing, yada, 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 right? And through that process, you have come to a realization of like, you're destined for like, I like to call it next level love, right? It's a love that you've never experienced before. And it's the type of love that, you have been reclaiming in yourself, which is why, like, you're ready for this. You're ready for that mirror to come in and really pour into each other. Um, and you've been feeling this coming in, you've been calling this in, not from a place of lack, but from a place of like, okay, like I've done so much work on myself. I've come into myself. I know who I am. I know what I want. I know who I'm calling in. I've tasted the depths of myself and the light that I have within and the love I have within. I'm ready to pour that into somebody else. Like, my God, this person that comes in, the love that you're gonna pour into them, it's infinite. It's infinite. And by the way, it's not just from you, it's going to be from this other person as well, because you can only call in a mirror. That's it. That's it. So that's why I'm saying it's a next level love. It's a next level love where it's like, you've been getting ready for it, right? And I've made messages like this. I know there's quite a few people that are calling this in. And I get that and I love that. That's exactly how it should be for us. No more one sided love, no more these like lessons in love. Like, no, 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 you've graduated. And this is what this message is about, right? So again, you've been destined for it, you've been calling it in, you've been feeling it. And I feel like for some of you, um you might have already met like this person, but most of you, like, you're being aligned to it, right? And you might have felt like this was going to come in much earlier, right? Just because, how sometimes we feel ready, like we've done the work, we're ready, we're calling it in, we're like and I don't know, I find it funny. It's like whenever we think we're ready, or whenever we think it's going to come in, like, yes, I believe you can feel the energy before it actually comes in. And sometimes, and I know this is for me as well, sometimes I feel into the energy and I'm like, oh my God, I feel it, it's so powerful, it's so strong, it's next week. And it's not. But again, energy is really quick, it moves very quickly, there's no density in energy, right? So you've received the energy. But then it's like, to receive it in the physical, it's more dense, it's slower, right? It takes more time. There's a lot more pieces that have to be moved in order for it to be in full alignment. And yeah, that takes a little bit of time. So again, you could have felt like it was going to happen earlier, but it didn't. But what I wanted to mention with this is like, as you've been reclaiming yourself, coming into alignment, coming into wholeness, all that, doing shadow work, blah, 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 I feel like, especially this past year, you've been sent certain people to, ugh, and I don't like using this word either, but I don't know what else to use, to like test you, to test how embodied you have become. if you're still like, basically, if you still were going to contort yourself and abandon yourself in order to have a connection with someone, even if it's misaligned. Do you know what I mean? Because this is probably a pattern, something that you used to do in the past, in past relationships, and it didn't work. You were abandoning yourself in order for example, like this person to choose you and to be with you, right? And you were just abandoning yourself. And then when you get used to that, it's kind of like you kind of become familiar with that type of love, and then you think that that's normal, but it's not. It's not normal, and you've been healing that, right? Because that sense of lack is a sense of like unworthiness in yourself. And then that person that you're with can only mirror that unworthiness back to you. And it ends up not being a great relationship. It ends up being really toxic. And it, to be honest, this is like what majority of relationships are like, right? It's constantly trying to get from the other person of like, show me that I'm enough, show me that I'm worthy, show me like da 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 da. And it's like, they can try to, but the thing is, if you don't believe it in yourself, no matter how many times they tell you or show you or whatever, it's actually never going to be enough, because the core is that you don't believe it. So no matter what somebody else does, it's never going to fill that gap, because you're the one who has to fill it. You're the one who has to come into your fullness, your wholeness, as much as possible, you know? Like, don't get me wrong here. I don't believe that you always have to be 1000% healed and whole to be in a relationship, right? Because one of our greatest work is in a relationship, right? Like, do I believe that there is an inner journey that you have to take within yourself? Absolutely. Absolutely. There is, work that you have to do on yourself. But then are you going to meet different levels of that in a relationship? Absolutely. But see, it's like you have to do that work by yourself to almost be prepared to enter into that type of dynamic and not be scared by it. Be like, okay, I have done this work on myself and now I'm ready to dive deeper, right? It doesn't scare you anymore, right? Because people who haven't done the work on themselves, when they are met with another person and now stuff is coming up, if they haven't done it on themselves, they retreat, they avoid, they stonewall, they do all sorts of things because they haven't gone into that pain themselves yet and they're trying to avoid it, right? Um, so, okay, I kind of like went a different way, but, or not, it's all really connected. But going back into this past year, it's like, yeah, you've been met with few people, not many, few, that I almost feel like whatever you believe in, your spiritual team, higher self, whatever you believe in, almost sent to you to be like, okay, you've done a lot of work on yourself. Are you still going to play in the same playground that you used to in the past, where, you know, the relationship kind of was toxic or whatever, right? You're met with those type of people, and I feel like you even knew that. You were like, "Ugh, I don't know, this is kind of like an echo from the past. Ugh, there's a bit of alignment here, but I don't know. I don't like, there was this a bit of like, do you not type of thing." And like I said, these were kind of like tests to see how embodied you have become. Again, I don't like to use that word, but like I said, I just don't know what other word to use. It's almost to see if you've really completed a cycle, right? The same echoes will come back from the past to see, it's like, you've done the work. Like, can you move through this? Can you actually choose yourself when no one is choosing you? Oh, oh, that's it. That's it. Can you choose yourself when no one else is choosing you? Because you've been doing that. That's why you walked away from so many things in the past, is because no one was choosing you. And you finally had to choose yourself, and you did. And I get it's been a long journey. It's been a heavy journey, but it's been also a rewarding journey because you have come to the wholeness of yourself. You have realized your worth, your value, who you are as a person, what you're creating, what you want. Like, oh my God, like I said, like you're a freaking phoenix. It's like the most beautiful death and rebirth kind of cycle that you have been through. You've come back to like the remembrance of yourself. Are you going to discover more? Of course, right? Of course. But like you've changed as a person. You're not the same person you were even like 2 years ago. And you know that. It's completely night and day different. So, yeah, basically what I wanted to say with this, it's like, yeah, you've been sent echoes from the past, similar types of people, right? They don't have to be exactly the same, but there's been a similar pattern. And I feel like you were getting signs even. And that was also like testing your relationship with the divine. Of like the divine, you've noticed, has really been like sending you signs, for example, about a past person that you might have connected with. And you're like, um, but I like them. But I'm getting these signs and then they're not great signs. And it's like, oh man, oh man, oh man. But I get it. Like, this is also your learning. But what I wanted to say is like, you've been very discerning. You've been very like, I've come such a long way in healing myself, putting myself back piece by piece, and not allowing anyone else's judgment, anyone else's view to distort me. Like, oh my God, it's such a beautiful, powerful energy. Like I'm there with you. I can feel it. And it's such a magnetic energy. I love it. Love it. Because, yeah, you don't need outer validation. You do it for yourself. But if you're here, you've passed the test. You've passed these tests. And you know it yourself. You know this yourself. Like, whatever person you might have connected with recently, you're like, oh, yeah, damn. Okay, I see. And yeah, it could have hurt. We're human, of course, especially you. You have such a huge heart. Such a huge heart. And again, you see the goodness in everyone. And again, this connects to the message that I've done that you're a rare force of nature. Literally, go watch that. Um because these two are connected. Um but yeah, you're like, you know what? Like, it's like mastering the art of detachment as well. Of like, I know that you love to connect deeply with others, but you're just like there where you're like, if it doesn't fit, it doesn't fit. And there's no hate towards it. There's no, bitterness. It's like, it doesn't fit. Send you love, but it doesn't freaking fit. Because you're at a point where it's like you need alignment with everything, with a romantic person that you're calling in, with your friends, with your work, what, like, you're there where it's like it either has to come aligned or like goodbye. And yeah, you've passed the test. You've mastered that art of detachment. And again, it's not coldness. It's just like, okay, if it's not met, it's not met. Like, your trust in the divine is so strong. Where you're like, okay, well, I know what's meant for me cannot miss me. And I know if I let go of something and it doesn't come back to me, then it's not for me. And if I let go of something and it does come back to me, well then okay, cool, right? Sometimes things in the moment aren't aligned. They like two energies, whether there's a person or a career or whatever, have to come together, like touch each other, be in each other's company and then be removed to go and like recalibrate, and then sometimes they do come back together, right? It depends. Everyone's situation is different, right? But ultimately, this was more for you to see how embodied you have become, to see the faith and relationship that you have with the divine. So basically the message is now you've graduated. Truly. You've done so much work on yourself, and I know it's been tough. I know it's been heavy at times, truly, and isolating and lonely and all the things. I know. But because you've gone through this, like, few tests in love to see if you're going to go back to old ways or if you've really completed and fused the cycle where now you get to start. Like, now is where you get to start a new one. Like, it feels like you've completely let go now. You know you're destined for this, like, beautiful, magnetic, higher level love. You know that. You can feel it in your bones. You've been calling this in, you've been feeling it for months, but it's almost like these tests also helped you to just completely let go and be like, all right, if it's meant, it will come. And if it's not, which I feel like you don't even believe it that it's not, but that's just like the detachment of like, okay, well, it is what it is type of thing. And I'm just gonna let go and it's gonna arrive. It's gonna come. It's gonna come in the most magical way ever. And I don't have to control it. I don't have to contort it. I don't have to do anything but just be. Because your energy is what's calling it in. Your work of embodiment is what's calling it in now. So, yeah, what I'm seeing is like now you're aligning to that person. Like, whoever, like, now this really does feel like the next person that's coming, that's them. That's them. And again, I almost want to say, because it feels like for some of you, it's like a brand new person. And for some of you, it is a person from the past, like one of these connections that might have had to go through their own kind of catching up of like dark night of the soul or whatever. Not for everyone, but for some. That's just, I don't know what I got, what it feels like. Um, so you're there. It's happening. It's coming. This next person, this person that's coming in, which really does feel like it's close. But again, I feel like you've just surrendered and you let go and you're like, okay, like, I know who I am. I know what I want. I'm not gonna scram for it. It's just gonna come and meet me. You're there. You are there. And yeah, let it come in. Let it flow into you because that literally feels like what's happening. Go enjoy yourself. Go do life. Go, like, literally go enjoy the last few weeks, days of being single. All right, guys, I'm going to leave this here. Let me know how this resonated. It feels like I know that there's a collective that literally went through all of this. So, um, yeah, a lot of us are coming closer to that. Alrighty, like I said, let me know how this resonated. Sending you so much love. And yeah, I'm still kind of brewing about an idea for like a women's community. I don't know. Like my mind is like trying to figure that out. So once it's ready, I'll let you guys know. Sending you so much love, and I'll see you on the next one.